All right, welcome back everybody to another overpowered pack opening. This time I've got 7 packs and they're the last from my one Kickstarter box. So let's hope that we get something good. This box has yielded 1 foil ultra rare and 2 foil stacks so far. So I might be looking for more of those foil stacks unless we get really lucky and find another ultra rare. So let's see. Alright, cool. We've got a Cthulhu stack. And actually this is my first Sun Wukong. That is cool. Let's see what he does. 1 per deck avoid. It can also be a draw. Pretty good. Not a bad 1 per deck. Anytime you or a teammate can avoid, it's nice. And one of the only 11s in this set. Nice. Again, this is only good, or I mean, it's still good, obviously. Adding to your venture total, knocking opponents out, but it's only if you're coming from behind. And a nice 6 that also discards a placed. Void 1 brute force, and then can't be targeted by brute force for the remainder of battle. I feel like you might have to get lucky with those type of decks, because otherwise it's going to block that 1 attack, but really not do too much in terms of the follow-ups. And then, awesome, love shifts like that so you can get them where you need, especially since there's a lot of cards that will let you remove those hits or source them where you want. So that's pretty cool. Alright, Sun Wukong, big 8 fighting. We're still looking for a Leonidas set of Combat 8 though. So we'll see if we get lucky in that next stack. Then we got a nice 4. A special for the Angry Mob. I kind of like the middle-aged ones the most because of this card where you just get to essentially throw an entire teamwork at someone. Move Captain Nemo into the reserve, and Captain Nemo can attack from the reserve with special characters. That's pretty cool. More Angry Mob. Industrial Ages. Wow, I don't know if you guys saw that already. Boom. Foil Mummy. Nice. That is a card that I like to see. The Mummy's been one of my favorite stacks so far. Look at that shine. Alright, well we're starting this set off pretty good. On to pack 2. So since I started opening, I've probably played with 7 new players. And they like the Mummy in that the brute force deck. Alright, we got Anubis. I got one of his rare arts before, so I'm really happy to see. I would love to have these guys combined in a deck. Let's see what his specials are. So he's got the 5 multi. I love this type of card. And we get the follow-up from the power pack. I assume that means regardless of what the power pack is, you can still attack with it. It's a good one to place, I guess, since it can only stop a KO, can't be used early on. And this one's so cool, Siphon Strike. I love the 5s and more than the 4s that come out. and then remove a hit, and that character is weak. If you're playing with Ra and his staff can do a -8, you can pretty much KO someone with a single attack. And then discard a placed and weigh them down. Very cool. And target is -1 to all actions for the remainder of the game. That's, I mean, you just stack that, try and throw them out as early as you can. Just have everyone be weak on the opponent's team. It's pretty cool. Another Sun Wukong stack. We just saw him. Then we've got Teamwork. I'll just put all the uncommons in one. Freya, Void, not bad. Some Martians teaming up. Land That Time Forgot. And Joan of Arc. I'm not really sure about this artwork. I think I've seen it a little bit online. It's better in person than it was there. I thought it was going to be more cartoonish. But here she's actually got kind of like a dark angel vibe going on. I think there's a lot more to this than I first thought. My initial, like I said, I didn't think it was going to be too much there, but a lot of cool use of color, a lot of detail, a lot of layers. You see like the army and the castle behind. Pretty cool. Have to see how she works out. Throw her in intelligence and fighting deck, I guess. You guys will have to let me know whether or not what that meta looks like, because I feel like having 2 stats is pretty easy to balance out. You know, you might have an 8 in one, or you know, double up the 8 in one of the stats and have some good supporting ones in a second one, and then that makes the other 2, since they're so weak, make it maybe harder to get a spectrum unless you're using those abilities that complement it. But then at least you can stack some really high hits. I don't know, let me know. What do you guys think? What do you guys focus on from when you deck build? There's maybe someone to complement Joan of Arc here. My first Monte count in Monte Cristo. Steals a place power card. That's interesting. A face down attack, those are cool. And then discard 2. Man, that's a lot of extra things with these abilities. Avoid and then draw. Not bad. Cool, Mummy stack. Like to see that. He's got his 5 in heal. Love those. Attack after concession. It's the gate. Very cool character. And we got fairy protection. I wonder what the difference. So what's better here? So you've got these 2. Oh, I guess the cataclysm thing makes it a little bit better. Because then you get the can't be attacked for remainder of battle along with it. Nice. No, I love getting more of these fortifications. I'm making too many decks and running out. Nice 8. Good fighting teamwork. And then Dr. Watson, looking pretty swole. Still don't have his stack yet. There's a surprising number of characters that I've gotten. Or I guess not gotten, to be honest. But pretty cool. I think he's going to be useful in a lot of decks, even if I find a, you know, this team with Count of Monte Cristo 2018-16. You know, then we have room for a big boy somewhere. All right, Carson of Venus. Let's skip through these guys and their 2D artwork. Boy Sheriff. This is just such a brutal card. It's got the 9 as well. I like his stack a lot. Alright, Hercules. Don't have actually I think I have one stack, but I've got a couple of his alt arts. It's good to have his special. Billy the Kid special. Hades, I guess. Gemini. And Time Traveler. Well, Time Traveler's got a few alternate arts. So I'll have to look at the list afterwards to see which one of these are actually ultra rare. I feel like the Joan probably is. Maybe I'm lucky with the Time Traveler too. Nice, another Lancelot. I think that makes 3. He's going to be, I think, a highlight in my combat deck. If I pair him with Leonidas, if I ever get his stack, it's going to be a very, very defensive team that can be really hard hitting. Merlin. Actually, this I know is very powerful as an 8 ability, but he feels like it's almost not worth the cost. We're not even getting an 8 out of it. Cool reveal, you get a lot of that. His common negate, that's amazing. That's why people are doing him. That's fine, especially if you pair him with a Morgan Le Fay. But I hear you can't have all 4 on your team because it's too many points. If you could play that after concession, that would be so nice. And then for multi, all right, thank you, Merlin. This is a cool one. I guess Drac could fit in that deck. I don't think he's got that much fighting, but hey, he's got the intelligence. Nice Cthulhu. 8. And nice. Morgan Le Fay. She's going to be one that I like to play as well. Got a few deck ideas. And this is a cool alt art. Neat coloring. It's the same, not a different artist than Joan of Arc, but that's not too bad. I like that one. If you're playing her in a deck, it'll be with that alt art. She's got the couple other ones out there, I think. All right, another stack of Angry Mob Modern Age. I should have enough stacks of their common cards. That just would want more of the Middle Age version. Wicked Witch, I like her as well. Morgan, Wicked Witch. Merlin, could be a big mage theme. And Witch. Remove all hits. Permanent record though, but that's where the shifting can come into play. Another any home base, nice. Okay, Sun Wukong. Discard all placed and remove all hits from current battle and permanent record. I assume that they don't count towards venture. Most of the other ones will tell you that. Oh, look at that. Another Dr. Watson. Final pack of the box. Last chance for a foil stack. If not, I'm a little light because I've only gotten the 2 Deja Thauruses. So let's see. It's not going to be Billy. Oh, there we go. Joan of Arc. That would have been awesome if that was a foil to complement her. Over here, we're a mummy foil stack. Let's see what she's actually got. play as an attack, reveal 4, and then play them open-handed. That's pretty good. Yeah, I've seen this one because she's part of one of the starter decks, but KO her, and they all don't count towards venture. I mean, that martyr ability, like I said, you get that shift involved, and it becomes very good. Each teammate may make an attack. That's pretty nice. Dual multi, like that too. Teammate. All right, so this is better than some of the other ones. Like Deja's got a intelligence avoid, and then you do other intelligence shenanigans with it. So this one is also hard to trigger because it's only 1, but then it blocks against all intelligence too. So at least you kind of get the 2 stats, but I feel like that one has to sit around for a while because better hope they're throwing fighting combat, around. Zeus, Industrial Ages, Headless Horseman. Oh, I actually have not seen that one yet. It's pretty cool. 9 for some wiki. And sort through, draw a pile, choose it, remove it, shuffle. I mean, you get to see their entire deck, so that's real nice. And, man, what a box there with a couple of Watsons and Sherlock. Cool. Well, I am very happy with this top line of pulls. Foil Mummy, that's going to be very nice. Joan of Arc, like I said, if you can get some shifts in there, I feel like there's some real cool decks that you can do, especially if you can pull her self-KO. And then Morgan Le Fay. All right, well, that's it. That is the last of this box. Still looking to get more packs. I'm not trying to order from the typical sources, but gonna go out and convince my local game store to at least order a box for me so that they have some experience with that, and maybe that'll make them think about ordering more from there, especially if I can play some games in their store. So thanks for watching. Best of luck in your polls.